Depression and anxiety are not your fault. I take these every day. I've been on medication 3 times in my life for depression, postpartum depression, depression and anxiety, and depression that stemmed from a huge life change, moving here last year, and menopause symptoms, which threw everything out of whack. The thing that I've learned, and one of the reasons that I'm doing the Rise Up Challenge with CAMH, is it's not your fault. Depression and anxiety are not your fault. So before you listen any further, trigger warning. The reason I take these, one of the reasons I take these every day is because when I was about 8 years old, one of my older brother's friends decided that he would take the little girl who I was outside on the deck of our cottage one summer evening and pull off her panties and lick her and told her never to tell anybody. That is why I need medication. That is why I went through my life feeling afraid of everything. That's not the only thing that happened. My older brother's friends, who were only 3 or 4 years older than I was at the time, one of them tried to force me to do something to him that I refused to do, which meant I had to walk back to our cottage through the bush, which probably took me about an hour. But most of my life, I thought I was weak, or I felt just so ashamed. I always thought I'd done something wrong, and because I was told never to talk about it, I was always afraid to be seen and to be heard and to use my voice. Because to me, being seen meant something bad was going to happen. And I'm 49 and I've done therapy and I've done a lot of work to overcome these memories. And I've done a good job, but even this morning, it resurfaced again. And because of a program I'm doing, and I literally had to have a conversation with this person and tell them, both of them, how their actions affected me and how they made me feel. And I have never heard my voice so strong as I did this morning in this hypnosis thing I was doing. But my point is, the stuff I battle with is not my fault. And I've done a great job of overcoming the anxiety, which used to be terrifying for me. Sometimes the depression still sneaks in. But you know what? I'm not ashamed. I'm on medication and I'm not ashamed. And I don't want anybody else to be either. And I also want you to know it's not your fault. Something happened to you in your life, in your childhood, in your young adulthood, probably many things. I have several things that had happened to me, but I'm not going to discuss them all here and now. The things that I've mentioned, my family knows about. Actually, I'll apologize to my 2 daughters because they've not heard that like that before. So that might be tough for them to hear, but the reason I'm talking about it now is because there are people out there suffering with depression or anxiety and many more things, but those are the only 2 I can speak to personally. General anxiety and social anxiety and PTSD. But they're not your fault. They are not your fault. You are not flawed. There is nothing wrong with you. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything to deserve it. And you don't have to be afraid anymore. You can get help for this. This is not who you are. This is a product of something that happened to you that you did not deserve. You do not deserve depression and you do not deserve anxiety, and they do not have to be a life sentence for you. It takes work, but that's what you have to go through to understand that this wasn't your fault and you do not deserve this. I know this. I know this because I've lived it. And that's why I'm sharing, because there are people out there that don't understand that it's not your fault. Something happened to you that gave you this problem in your life. And I don't know who you are, but I love you, and you are worthy, and you are valuable, and you are deserving of a beautiful life, and you can get past this. I love you, and I see you. And I hope that these words somehow help you, because you are not to blame for this. This is no longer your burden to carry. That's why I'm rising up and doing this challenge.